Hey guys, Miss Floyd here again. So this is talking about the science lesson, module 9, and I am on page 2 of notes. And I figured I'd spend just a little bit of time kind of explaining this in more detail. So respond to stimulus, if you remember that is the example that I use if I, pinch someone, or if something was thrown at my face, then I would automatically blink and close my eyes. So those are all parts of us responding to different stimuli. And that is one of our defense mechanisms as humans that we are really good at. So the response would be the reaction to the actual stimulus. So us blinking our eyes if something's about to hit us in the face, or us feeling pain from being pinched or hit. Those are all responses. The stimulus or the stimuli is any condition in the environment that requires an organism to adjust. So that is what is causing the pain or what is being thrown to make us blink. So response and stimulus go together. For every stimulus that we have a response. The receptors are these little tiny pieces that is usually on the outside of cells. And these receptors are kind of like like nerve cells in a way. So they're located on the outside of the cell, and that is what helps us as organisms to sense surrounding conditions. So our cells are really good at doing this also. So they can sense when there's other cells around them, what type of cell it is, what they need to do, whether it's make a connection or whether it's to destroy it, whatever it may be. Those receptors help the cell know what to do with other things that they come in contact with. So just an example, tropism is when the plants will actually grow towards the sunlight. A lot of plants do this and we don't even realize it. Example 2, dogs will actually start slobbering over smelling food. I don't know about you guys, but my dog loves cheese. So anytime I get cheese out, he comes running wanting a treat. Another example is feeling pain after a shot. Obviously, nobody likes to get shots in here, but if you have to get a shot, you feel pain afterwards. So that is respond to stimulus. So next is energy. So it is the ability to do work. And again, energy is us obtaining some kind of food or nutrients in order to survive. So plants, of course, most plants do photosynthesis. So they use sun, water, carbon dioxide to make their energy. And here's just the chemical formula for it. So the energy is actually glucose and oxygen. And you could even write that down on your notes. And then, so the glucose, think of it as little links of a chain. So this is what the plants make, but then those little links of the chain form a big chain. And the big chain is actually called a starch. So the plants make glucose, but they store it as starch. So let me just draw you a little visual here. So if these little circles are glucose, I'm going to just put G's in the middle of those for glucose. Then they can form connections and make one big piece, and that big piece is the starch. Now, how does this relate to humans? If you're into nutrition, what humans are really good at is when we eat starch, like potatoes and pasta and bread, things that make us really full and happy, those are all starches. So when we eat those starches, our body will actually come back during digestion and they will break those links to where we have glucose all by itself again, which is what can go into our blood like it's supposed to. So the glucose goes into our blood and it aids with other things, of course, for our human body. But so plants will make the glucose, connect it for starch, and then as humans, we eat the starch, and then our bodies break it down again into glucose pieces. Okay, so next is animals, which of course we fall under the animal category. So animals use metabolism, and that is just a process of digestion. So similar to what I just explained, everything we eat, we have to digest it, which means break it apart into smaller molecules and smaller chemicals. So once that food is digested, then we can use it to do certain things for our body, like make us stronger. Protein is to build muscle. Every single time we eat fat, that is to give us more energy. So we eat these things, then break them apart, and then we use it for our bodies. So food plus oxygen equals carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So we take in the food and we breathe in oxygen, but then we breathe out carbon dioxide, and we sweat out water, and also not just sweat, but we get rid of our waste and water as well, and then we get energy as a result of that. Bacteria, they do things a little differently. They're similar to plants, but rather than using photosynthesis, they use chemosynthesis. Chemo means chemical. So chemosynthesis, rather than using sunlight and water and carbon dioxide, they are using different chemicals to actually get their energy. And these chemicals, it could be sulfur, it could be nitrogen. It just depends on what type of bacteria it is. So they will take in glucose and oxygen, and then they will produce carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So if you notice, the formula for chemosynthesis is literally the complete opposite of photosynthesis, which is kind of cool. So that will conclude our talk for page 2, and I will post some more information that will include page 3 next. But just take a listen to this, and if you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to ask.